something before you go?
I'm okay with just that.
Next to my building is
All right, if you could join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roger?
Our Heavenly Father, we thank you so much that we can be here together in this free country, together like this. We thank you so much for what the Rotary does around the world, many good things the Rotary does. We just thank you that we can be a part of it, a small part of it, just to help out as much as we can. We just thank you for the Rotarians that are here today, and we ask you to be with those that can't be here today. And we just thank God for everything that we have in this free country. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. All right, everybody can go ahead and have a seat. We'll jump right into our meeting today. I think our only guest is our guest speaker, which Max has today. So I'll have Max introduce her in a little bit, but there's no more guests, right? So let's jump right in. Who's happy about something with happy bucks? Rob always is happy, so I'm going to save him for when nobody else has anything to be happy about. Anybody?
I've got one.
Yeah, Miranda.
So a couple weeks ago, we were talking. My nephew Danny Etling was mentioned. Coach Braids was here, and he was recently signed with the British Columbia Lions in the Canadian Football League. So he keeps to stay playing.
That's awesome. Good for him. Did I ever tell you that? So he went to camp, and I taught him geology merit badge. So I take a little bit of responsibility for that. I don't know if geology has anything to do
current success.
Yeah, nothing to do with the NFL and professional football, but I like to think so. Anybody else have a something? Leah?
There's something about our sewing ministry. Once it wasn't safe for us to have everybody inside, we've been doing curbside pickup for diapers. And this year so far, we've made 1,600 diapers. And we've shipped 1,400. So we're well on track to do what we would do in a normal year. It's very thankful.
Awesome. Congratulations. That's great. Good work. If you left sewing up to me, I'd probably have sewn 3 by now. So. No, you wouldn't. Anybody else happy about something? All right, Rob.
All right. Very good. So, I became involved with a group called NAMI. It's N-A-M-I, National Alliance on Mental Illness, and assisted teaching what was called the family to family. And so it's people who have loved ones who have a mental illness, and you go through training, and then you're able to teach others some of the techniques and mindsets and asking better questions of medical professionals and all this sort of thing. And so that went well. We had multiple people. We did it online. That was difficult, but we did that. One of the 2 co-teachers, unfortunately, was the gal that lost her life at the hands of her son here a few months back on the south side of Terre Haute. Her son has schizophrenia and was in a very bad place and took her life. So it's sad for the entire organization over here. However, they had made plans of going on with a shortened seminar called NAMI Family and Friends Seminar. It's a 4-hour seminar. It's coming up a week from Saturday, and it is about understanding diagnoses, treatment and recovery, effective communication strategies, the importance of self-care, crisis preparation strategies, and just various resources. And so we have space for 25 people. We already have 7 people signed up for it. And what I would like, tell you what, the kind of information you get here is just, you can search far and wide for a long time trying to figure out, because this is just not the normal kind of stuff that people deal with. It can be very, very confusing trying to deal with a family member that has a mental illness. And so The 4-hour seminar, lunch is included, all free, Landsbaum Center for Health Education. And I'd like to ask if you could, I have about a dozen flyers. If you wouldn't mind, some of you that have a public place to post it, and just get the words out. 'Cause I'm telling you, from a person that loves and is cared for a person with the mental illness, this information is hard to come by. And organizations like this do an excellent job of really helping coach you up how to help your loved one. So I'll have them back here in the back. If you'd help me out, kind of spread the word about that, as we have almost 20 spaces left. Thank you.
Thanks, Rob. Anybody else happy about something that they'd like to share? Yeah, Michelle?
I have to dig my dollar out, but we just officially started the whole process for the annual mayor's ride that benefits the Clay County Humane Society. So a lot of you that are local business owners may have already received a letter informing you that in the mail. I think they're starting to hit today because my phone calls are starting to come in today. But I do have flyers for the event and requests for contribution letters. I don't know if any of you are familiar with what, it's a big deal this year, both because it benefits Clay County Humane Society, which is a huge deal, which I don't know if that's what Tony is here to talk about today, but it is also the 10th annual Mayor's Ride. And I think it's kind of extra special this year because for those of you that know what our mayor is struggling with right now, he was still determined to make this event happen. So we're trying to make it the biggest Mayor's Ride that we've ever had. There'll be a huge celebration after the ride on October 2nd at the American Legion. They've been kind enough to host it for us, and this is top secret. We can't tell the mayor, but for years he's been saying to me, you know, I should collect all the t-shirts and have a quilt made. Well, I found a great quilter who is making a commemorative quilt that will be presented to Brian at the celebration as a surprise, with all 10 years t-shirts, and then an additional quilt that will get raffled off, which I imagine will go over very well because a lot of these riders have been attending religiously for 10 years. So looking to make it, again, the biggest event that we've had so far. So if anybody is involved with the business that didn't get a letter but would like to make a contribution, it will get your name on the t-shirt, and it all goes directly to Clay County Humane Society. Okay?
So, how much was raised last year? Because you said you wanted to double it.
Our highest has been about 25,000. Last year was in the 20s. So I personally have this outrageous goal this year. I'm almost nervous to say it out loud, but I would love to see us double our highest year.
Right on.
And I think that that's realistic. I sent out double the letters to businesses that I have in the past. It's a lot of work, but you know, the businesses have stepped up every other year and made it bigger every year, and I think, again, with it being 10 years,
For sure.
everything, it's realistic.
I think it can happen. Well, congratulations on getting that going.
Yeah.
And good luck.
Thanks.
A lot of work though,
I'll
like
be
you
getting
said.
much sleep.
Anybody else happy about something they want to share? I'm happy to still be awake, so how about that? Announcements for the club. We had a board meeting yesterday, so I got a couple things I want to go over. Board members, please cut me off if there's anything that I forget. The first thing is the Brazil Main Street 40 Fest is this Saturday. They've been having some issues finding volunteers to help sign up for some slots. So I reached out to them and we talked about this in our board meeting yesterday. If there's anybody available who wants to be able to work, just sign up right here on this sheet. I'm going to give this to Rob to pass around. If you're available, they would greatly appreciate the help. They said they need some help in the kids area, the kids zone area. We helped out with that a couple years ago. It was really easy. There's a dunk tank that now on their sign-up sheet online it says if you work the dunk tank, you're not going to be the one getting dunked. But then Josh messaged me last night and he's like, well, we actually do need people to sit in the dunk tank and get dunked. So if you did want to do that, there's a possibility if you wanted to. But if you are able to help, they would greatly appreciate any type of help. It would count towards a Rotary makeup if you're able to fill in on a spot or two. But I told them we'd be happy to pass around a sign-up sheet and see if there's any interest. And you can show up day of. I know Michelle's on the sign-up list, like 4 spots and throughout the day there. So we already have, a couple people wearing multiple hats in the club and the community as well that are going to be there. So looks like a fun event. That might be the first public appearance of Hudson as well. So if you see Megan and I, we might show up there.
In the dunk tank?
It might be.
If we do diapers up.
Yes.
Yeah, how's the cloth diapers going? Hey,
I don't want to talk about diapers right now. Okay? It's a sore subject. Okay. Blowouts. Not fun.
Should we wear our yellow shirts if we can?
Yeah. He said wear your yellow shirt, and then if you do decide to sign up, he'll send you an email Friday on where to go to check in and whatnot. If it's a last minute thing and you decide Saturday morning you've got some free time and want to go help, by all means show up and help, because they need all the help that they can get. It looks like it's going to be some good weather and a good event for everyone. Here we go. October 8th is a football game that the Rotary is been asked if we can help sell tickets at the Northview football game on October 8th. We'll send out some more information as soon as I get it from Chad on that one. And then they also said there's a possibility we're going to do the check presentation this Friday for the grant for the band. Hasn't been set in stone yet. Waiting to hear from Chad if that's going to happen. We're going to do it last Friday, but they canceled that football game. It is homecoming week, so that if we could do it this week, that'd be awesome, because hopefully there'd be several people there to see us make that check presentation. Once I know for sure, I'll send out an email and let everybody know. Everybody's more than welcome to show up to that in your Rotary shirt. The more Rotarians we have there to present this to the band, the better publicity it will be for us. I think we probably get to get in for free or something like that if we're just there for the check presentation, in and out, and be done with that. So, and then our next board meeting is October 5th, 10 a.m. at Dave's office. I think that's all I had. Any other announcements from the board from yesterday? Anything? Yeah, Chris.
One more announcement. I'm working on the awards night, and I think we haven't said it quite yet, but it's probably going to be either Thursday, October 21st, or Thursday, October 28th. It seems that Thursday seems to be work out best most times, so it'd be one of those 2 dates. And with that too, we pass out the Paul Harris Award for a club member and a community member, and this year we had an even number of Paul Harris fellows that vote for that award, and there's a tie for the community member. So what we kind of discussed to figure out to break the tie, since we use the points from the club, and those points come from, all of us, not just the Paul Harris fellows. To break the tie this year, we're going to go ahead, and I have a ballot for the all the other members to vote, and hopefully break a tie, but we'll see, because there's actually an even number of club members also, so we'll have to figure it out if there's a tie, maybe give it to both of them or something. But I'm going to pass out quickly just a ballot to the non-Paul, the ones that haven't voted yet. So if you could just circle or check mark next to the name, and I'll collect those. And then I think there's like 8 or 9 people that could vote that's not here. So once we see what the votes are, if it'll matter, then I'll contact them and stuff, so we can get our community winner picked, so we can get that stuff sent in and make sure we have it on time before the awards night.
Alright, while he's passing that, I think there was, so Peggy's going to be picking up the dictionary students, so we can distribute the dictionaries to the elementary schools. There's one more thing that I just saw here that apparently wasn't that important.
Gave away some money yesterday.
We did. We did vote yesterday to award the Open Hands Preschool $500 for a funding request to help purchase some tables and chairs for kind of their needs that they have over there. So hopefully we'll be seeing them soon to give them some funds for that. I think that's it from yesterday and all the announcements I have. Anybody else have any sort of announcement for the Good of the Club before I introduce Max? If I think of the other thing that I have wrote, it's wrote down here somewhere. All right, Max, it's all you. Max Short, everyone.
Hi, everybody. As Andrew said, I'm Max Short, and I'm a local Edward Jones financial advisor. I specialize in investments and retirement planning and retirement income strategies. But I was born in Clay County. I went all through Clay Community Schools, and intend to be here for the rest of my days. So I really enjoy this area. So with that, one organization that is very important to the community is the local Humane Society. So they've just got a ton going on. So I've invited my former associate and president of the Humane Society, Tony Carter, to come and fill us in on all that's going on. So please welcome Tony.
Thanks, Max. And I want to apologize to the people at my table. I've been at the Humane Shelter since 7:30 this morning, so I have cat hair and probably some other product on me. And it made me think about when I was in Rotary years and years ago, and I don't want to call out the oldies like me, but I know Jim Dill and Mark Addison will remember this. Steve Burton used to be the president of Rotary, and he had a hog farm. Mike Peterson. He had a hog farm at the time, and he would come in off the hog farm for our meetings, and he would drop his shoes at the door and walk in, but it would just walk the hog farm through the Rotary, so we always laughed about that. I wanted to just talk a little bit about the Humane Shelter because a lot of people don't realize what all goes on there and how many animals flow through there. So this is last year's annual report, but it'll kind of give you an idea. In 2020, we had 711 animals come into the shelter. We get paid by the city and the county. So the county, we had 217 dispatch calls from the county, 196 dispatch calls from the city. That doesn't count just other people coming in. So we had a total of 413 calls. We had 409 adoptions. We had 194 dogs, amazingly enough, 194 cats, and 21 birds. Occasionally, we get calls for rabbits. We got calls for chickens that had to go, so we put them in a pen and there's a guy down in Corey that comes and gets our farm animals, so we don't like to keep them very long. The other day somebody called because a guinea pig was loose in their yard. They didn't know where it came from, but had been running around their yard for several days, so I think somebody did go out and try to find the guinea pig because they have such compassion for animals, they're trying to save them all. We had 126 cats and 31 dogs last year go to rescue. We partner with a lot of different rescues, not only in the state of Indiana, but other states. I've transported over to Illinois, and somebody from Wisconsin came down and we met. Anywhere we can find a rescue that will take some of these dogs that usually it's specific breeds that they want to get. So we had several rescues that we worked with. This is always the interesting one that people don't realize. We had 131 animals that were returned to the owners, 5 cats and 126 dogs. A lot of times we get the same people over and over again. So, the first offense, they usually, let them have their dog back. Because after 3 days, legally, they become our property. But we would prefer them to go back home. They even know some of these dogs' names because we pick them up so often. So they start finding them or a penalty, and usually it gets high enough that I've seen people actually it was a couple $100 to get their dog out of Hawk. So, and they were coming to get it, and they could spend that money on a fence or something to try to keep that dog in. But we do get deaths. We are a no-kill shelter, but we do get deaths. We had 7 that were dead on arrival, 28 passed on their own due to illness, injury, and occasionally we do have to euthanize, but we only euthanize in certain instances. We had 3 that, for aggression, we just can't take the chance of, we've got some of the girls that work at the shelter 100 pounds soaking wet, and a dog gets them down, and it's could be bad. We had 9 due to illness or injury, so we had a total of 47 deaths. So that's just an idea to, let you know about kind of the animals that flow through there. To compare that, I'm gonna tell you just what we took in July. This is why we've got a big problem right now. Just in July, we had 17 city calls that resulted in 47 animals that come in. We had 25 county calls that were 39 animals that came in. So we had 42 calls and 86 animals. That almost doubled our capacity right there. So we get in these hoarding situations and it's just awful. So we work with the different rescues trying to get them out, and there comes a time where we just don't have any more capacity left. So, but I wanted to talk to you a little bit about our budget too. We have a $200,000 budget, and we have a city contract and a county contract. So the city contract's $25,000, and the county contract's $30,250. So you can see about 75% of our budget is just from donations and fundraising. And it amazed me when I first started doing some things with the shelter, how generous people are, because 75%, I mean, we're by the seat of our pants when we start the year. Because we only, and our medical bills a lot of times will run about $4,000 to $5,000 a month. So most of that money coming in from the city and county basically goes to our medical bills every month. So, but the fact that we can sustain ourselves and people are so nice and generous, from out of state, we had a lot of people coming over here to adopt animals from Illinois for some reason. And I just made some calls yesterday, people from Greenwood and Carmel. It's just, I don't know, they're going online and seeing our animals and coming over. So we appreciate that so much. 3 programs we got going right now I wanted to let you know about. One of them is a TNR program. It's called a Trap, Neuter, and Release. And last year we did, in 2020, we did 95, and I think we've almost done that this year. I don't know if any of you run into some stray cats. I think it's more of a city problem than it is a county problem, because coyotes kind of take care of the county problem. But in the city, you'll have like some abandoned houses, or you just have people that like to feed all these feral cats. Well, one female cat and her offspring in 7 years is equal to 100 cats. And we all know that your kittens are having kittens are having kittens. So in trying to stop that madness, anybody that has any feral cats on their property that you're wanting to get altered or fixed, we're actually doing that for you now. We've got some cages. We had a gentleman passed away. We took $10,000 of that money to get this program started in the hopes that we could get some grants after we could show that we were really doing some good numbers. So we are able to do that. So we've got traps you can borrow. We got a vet that comes in, not only does our spay and neuters for our animals, but also does the TNR program for all these feral cats. Drop them off in the morning, they get fixed, you come back, and they go right back out again. We've got a lot of people in the different, especially in incorporated towns, that are trapping for us. And what they do, they'll bring them in, and then they just take them right back to where they were, because they got that colony going. But just trying to stop all those kittens and just the multiplication going on there. So if you're interested in that, let us know.
Their ears get tipped, so they're recognizable
Right,
as
thank you
having
for
been
that, yeah.
altered.
Once they get fixed or altered, they kind of clip their ears. So if you see a cat out running around kind of wild and it's got a clipped ear, at least you know it's been altered and won't be creating havoc anymore. Something else that we would like to see in the future, we're not there yet, but if any of you have gotten your animals spay or neutered, well, first of all, we only have one veterinarian in town now, and Spot closed down, which was a low-cost spay and neuter. And it's kind of really created a vacuum, because we get calls every day. I get personal calls. Where can I go get my pet altered? That's not going to cost an arm and a leg, because typically it'll be $100, $150 to get your cat fixed, and they were doing them at Spot for like, $50. So what our dream is, but we just don't have the space right now, is to have a vet come in so that we can actually do that for the community. So that's one of our goals. And to get that space is the next project we're doing that we're really excited about, and we're probably going to do a campaign on it coming up. Right now, we've got dogs that are inside. and very rarely do they get to go outside. I mean, a small walk a day while they're cleaning their cages. We just can't get enough volunteers to come in to walk the dogs, you know, later in the day. And then we got outside dogs that never get to go in. So the outside dogs, what we're dealing with is we've got cords going everywhere because they got heat lamps on them in the wintertime. So wonder there hasn't been a fire down there. We got, you know, they're breaking water in the winter when the water's frozen because we can't bring them all in, we just don't have the room. Straw, when it rains, you know, they're getting wet. I mean, it's just one thing after another. And then when the weather really gets bad, they do bring them in, but they're in a cage, you know, probably about a 2x2 cage just for the night to keep them warm until we can get them back out the next day. So because of that, one of my biggest dreams was to have a building just for the dogs. And behind the shelter, Don and Deb Reisner, I don't know if you know them, I didn't know them prior, but we contacted them and they actually donated some land to us right behind our shelter so we can put up a building. So Brad Baird's there now, they're clearing it all, they've got the gravel down, it's incredible looking even right now. But we're gonna have a building that's gonna house all the dogs. It'll just be the dog building. It's gonna have indoor, outdoor kennels. The indoors are gonna be 5x5. The outdoors will also be 5x5, separated by a guillotine door. So we won't have to deal with the straw anymore. And, you know, everybody walking around in the rain or the snow trying to get these dogs cleaned up, or the heat lamps and all that stuff. We'll be able to steal that guillotine door, you know, at night, keep them in, keep the guillotine, you know, they'll be able to go inside, outside. So that's a project that we're working on and we're excited about. So hopefully you'll hear more about that. We're hoping to have a campaign. I think there's enough people that love the animals and want to see the dogs to be able to have more space to walk around in. That hopefully we'll get a lot of donations on that. We did have a gentleman that passed away and left us some money to get this project started, so we're excited about that. Just a couple things going on. We've got a shot clinic. I don't know how much it costs, Michelle, you might know if you went to the vet and got your shots, but you could bring your dog. We're gonna be at the Cow Palace on Saturday, this Saturday from 2 to 4. We've got 2 vets, so we've got 2 lines. It's a lot more efficient than what it used to be. And basically for $40, you can get every shot your dog needs. You know, rabies, distemper, all that.
You'll spend $250 to $300 for that same group of shots.
Yeah.
Especially with the lower quantity of vets available right now.
And we get a lot, I mean, there's a line, but like I said, we got a lot more efficient with 2 vets there, so it's really nice. And it's amazing to see everybody that comes to that shop clinic. Michelle talked about the mayor's ride, and I've got some flyers as well. So if you can put those up in your businesses, that would be great. If you haven't been to that, it's really a lot of fun. You don't have to be a rider and go on the ride. I think we usually get to the Legion about 6 o'clock, and they have a band and a lot of you know, drawings and raffles, and it's really a lot of fun. And the food, I think last year was catered by Klep, so it was really good.
It was like enough food for 2 people.
Yeah.
One meal was, yeah.
So if you don't want to do the ride, you can just go. They have extra dinners that you can buy and just.
Or if you want to ride the Jeep, or.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they close off the street, so it's really a good time. And they got that new building. I don't know if it'll be ready or not, but that'll be nice.
They said it was going to be ready.
Good.
That's their goal. It'll be great.
You know, anything that you might be interested in, you know, we love to get people that will foster dogs. You know, we got some dogs that have been at the shelter for over a year. Can you imagine being in a, you know, 4x4? Some of them just eventually kind of go crazy. It's sad, but it's not a great environment for them to be in long term, and we do our best to get information out on Facebook and on our website to let people know about all these dogs. So if you're interested in fostering, but one main reason I'm here, you know, we all know it's hard to find anybody to work right now. When Popeyes has $20 an hour on their sign, and we're a nonprofit getting 75% of our money from donations and fundraisers, it's hard to find people to work. So I would like to challenge the club, you know, just getting some volunteers. If you came down there just for, you know, 1 day a week for a couple hours, you'd probably be amazed. We had a new volunteer come in, she's actually gonna start working for us. She's a nurse, but she's on 1 week and then she's off for 7 days and so she's just gonna come in every other week and work. And she said, talked about how therapeutic it was, there's no drama, it's quiet, and you're just hugging on cats and dogs all day. You're getting kisses and, it is very therapeutic just to be able to sit and pet a cat, I guess, so. So that's what I'd really like to talk about is, give that some thought, if any of you have free time, even if it's just coming down and walking a dog that doesn't get out of his cage very often, every little bit helps, so. We've always appreciated all your financial support, and if you can physically come down there and help us do some things, that would be awesome too, so I appreciate the time. Anybody have any questions?
How do you get the documents?
You can come on down and we'll take you on a walkthrough. Usually when you come in, they ask, what kind of dog you're looking for, and then they're all on our website as well, but, you're looking for a little dog or a big dog or a certain kind of breed mix. And then you can just walk through, they'll do a meet and greet, you can take them for a walk. We got a big playground, a big fenced in area at the end of the lane that you can actually take them down and let them run, you can walk around with them. There's an application that you fill out. We just want to make sure that, you're going to take care of the dog. We like to see you have a fenced in yard, obviously, so we don't have these dogs running around. But when they leave the shelter, they've got all their shots. Everything's ready to go. They're altered, so you're good for a whole year on the rabies and everything. And I'm glad you brought that up because we've got a special that just started yesterday until the end of the month. Any dog, all cats are $40, cats and kittens. Any dog that has been there at least 6 months or an elder dog is $50. And then just regular adult dogs are $75. So, but you just fill out the application basically and just come, and if you're not sure, you can do what's called a foster to adopt. You can actually take that dog home with you. Maybe you have other dogs, you want to do a meet and greet and kind of see if you like it, and if things don't work out, you come back. If so, it gives you time to really see if they're a good fit for your family, and then you can go through with the full adoption. So it's actually a pretty simple process. Michelle used to be the manager, so she's gonna.
One of the big things that I think a lot of people never realize is how much money, and granted, Clay County Humane Society gets discounts, for the medical care compared to.
Yeah, we pay half price and we're still paying $4,000 to $5,000 a month.
Yeah, and that's, if an animal has a dog heartworm,
Yeah.
there's a very large percentage of those dogs that come in heartworm positive.
And Lyme disease, we get that a lot.
If you were to get your own dog treated for heartworm, it's easily a couple grand, but, we've been fortunate enough to get discounted prices, but a lot of times people will say, well, I can't believe it's $125 to adopt a dog. There might be a couple $1,000s invested
Right.
in that dog.
Yeah, we're not making money.
Yeah.
It's definitely actually
Losing.
we're going backwards, yeah.
Yeah.
And as far as adopting dogs and then getting them, you will adopt a bunch of dogs out, we take 2 steps forward and then we get like 30 in. So
And then, a horde
5
comes in
steps back.
or something.
Do you have a question?
Yeah, what kind of donations do you take,
Oh, great.
aluminum cans, newspapers, or?
Aluminum cans, and we just moved a little shed that we put the aluminum cans right outside the front door. So if you got aluminum cans, you can just drive right in, open the door and throw them in. Matter of fact, your brother just went, it was so full we couldn't even shut the door and nobody had been for a while. And he took them over and it was like $250 and they don't pay much for cans, so that was a lot of cans. So yeah, we take can donations, any type of dog, dog food. We prefer like dog chow, puppy chow, kitten chow, litter, paper towel, bleach, any type of cleaning supplies, baby food, turkey and chicken, because we get these little tiny kittens in that sometimes they'll be bottle feeding them, dropper feeding them, or they're really tiny. They like that sometimes. Wet food for cats and kittens. It's just, and we get a lot of people dropping things off, and people are so good. They really are.
Old
It's incredible.
linens, Blankets.
Yeah, blanket, if you're changing out the towels in your house, we do the towels, if you've got old blankets, I know everybody accumulates blankets and you wanna get rid of, you put blankets.
And then Lynch's still does their program, right?
Yes, Lynch's, I think it's like $1 over cost, and a lot of people, like, we just had a girl go down and just, pay Lynch's, and it was like a $500 credit for us. Because we get the Diamond dog food from Lynch's, and then when people donate, we kinda mix it, because you don't wanna upset their stomachs, all the time with different foods, so we mix it with the Diamond, so the Diamond's the one consistent, and then mixing it in with the donated food.
So you could just drop a check off to them and they call up and say, hey.
Absolutely. Somebody put $200 on your account, yeah. Yes.
I know that if, someone has something to donate and can't get to you all, the emergency food pantry will take it, and whenever you donate, then they send someone down and all of that.
Yeah, I know they do that, and we've also got like one of those storage, like you put anything in outside, those kind of heavy durable plastic storage, and it's right up by the door, and you can put in there newspapers, because we line the cages with newspapers, so we get a lot of those dropped off. So a lot of stuff can be put in that plastic container, but you're right, the food pantry, I've been there when they've come over and brought stuff.
You said you give the animals all their shots and so on. Don't you also put a chip in that?
We do, and thank you for bringing that up. We do a microchip, and we're doing dogs and cats now, so that if a dog gets loose, we can run it. We just hope people will keep it up, because we've had some dogs and we've picked them up and we've scanned it and the phone's disconnected or whatever, so, but yes, we're doing that. Also at the shop clinic, if you've got a dog and you wanna get it chipped, I think it's $20, might be, it's $15 or $20, and we can chip it at the shop clinic. And then you just register it, and then you don't have to worry about your pet getting away and nobody being able to find it. Max?
For the dog kennels, is the guillotine door like a community guillotine door, or is it for every kennel?
Every kennel has that,
Go outside.
guillotine in the middle, yeah,
Cool.
and you pull them up, and then, we're gonna have a perimeter fence, and then we'll be able to open up the other side as well, to where some of them can go together. We just gotta be careful on who plays nice with the other dogs and who doesn't.
That's such a huge deal. You have no idea, in the middle of winter, those girls that weigh
Oh.
100 pounds soaking wet,
Yeah.
they were using kitty litter containers, getting water from a sink at the back of
Yeah.
the building,
Yeah.
carrying it around an entire building to get it outside, cause the hoses would freeze and would
Yeah,
not frost free.
It is honestly
Spigots.
a nightmare.
I don't even, it's miserable work.
Yeah, so this inside will be huge, it really will. Real excited about that. And so once we get that building and we can move the dogs out, we'll have space to have this surgery center for the community that we really wanna have. A lady recently passed away, Patsy Dearborn, and she, all of her money went to the community foundation, but we get the money off of it every year, and as of right now, it should be about, there's some other things going on, but right now it should be about $20,000 to $24,000 a year. So, and we really wanna earmark that for the community, to help with, the surgery center. Luckily, we were able to buy some surgery equipment from, Dr. Rogers, vet clinic in Terre Haute. Gave us a wonderful price on some of that equipment, even though it was older. It's like, that's great for us. And so this vet that we have kind of doing our spay and neuter, we're using that vet equipment. So we've got it. We just need the space to put it, and then somehow create a kind of circular drive so people can come in and bring their animals. That's our goal, that's our dream. We'll help the community with that. Anything else? I challenge you to come down. Even if you want to come down for an hour, you will be amazed at, like, wow, laundry, washing the blankets, folding blankets. There's something for everybody. So thank you so much for letting. Oh yeah.
One more, what hours are you open?
We're starting at 8 o'clock. Usually the cleaning goes from like 8 to noon, and then after that, there's always other things like maybe organizing something or walking some dogs. But Monday, it's Monday they're open till 4, Tuesday till 4, Wednesday's closed, Thursday till 4, Fridays till 5, and Saturdays till 6. And then on Sundays, you know, Wednesdays and Sundays will close, so everybody just gets in, gets it done, and we try to get everybody out of there by noon. But, you know, it's like the hospital, it's a 24/7 deal where these animals gotta be taken care of and fed, so.
What she's saying is the doors open to the public for adoptions at noon.
Right.
But cleaning starts at about 8 a.m.
Yeah, and I've been getting there at 7:30, so, yeah. We got some community service people coming in, but, you know, they're kind of spotty. I put in for work one again, did an application for them trying to get some help, so it's just rough trying to get help, as you probably all know. Thank you so much.
Don't run away. All right, we have a gift for you, sir.
What?
Yeah. Ron gets to take your pictures. Run on back up here.
Yeah.
That's fine. All right,
This is nice.
nice little rotary four-way test thing for you. Perfect. Wonderful. Thank you so much.
I appreciate it.
We have a dog that we adopted down in Bedford, and everybody who's got like one of those show dogs or whatever can't stand those show dogs. You gotta get an
Gotta get a
adopted
rescue.
dog. It's a
Gotta get a
rescue.
rescue.
Best thing we've ever done.
You have a lot of cats.
We do, but we don't talk about that. It's a zoo over at our house. I can't remember that other thing that I was gonna say to the club earlier, so unless anybody's got a burning issue, we'll rise and say the four-way test and see you till next week. Other things we think, say, or do.
Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Thank you, everyone.